My chainsaw is way bigger than yours. It's not the size of the chainsaw, it's how you use it. Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, guys. Okay, here we go. I don't think this needs any self-explanatory or any explaining. Wait. I don't think this review needs any explaining. This is pretty much self-explanatory. Yeah, there we go. That's where I was going. Look at Ash. He's already laughing at me. He's like, ah, you dumbass. Okay, so this right here, guys, is the, you know who this is, classic character. If you love horror movies, if you have never seen any of the Evil Dead movies, Army of Darkness movies, or even Ash versus Evil Dead, which this is from, then you really, really suck. There's no way to put it. There's no way to put it, guys. If you've never seen any of those movies, then you suck. A heavy, clangy chainsaw. Okay, so today's review is going to be of this gentleman right here, and he is rocking it, guys. I'm pretty excited to have my Ash versus Evil figure, my first Ash figure ever. This is from NECA. Of course, there has been releases through McFarlane, but I think NECA has got it on point, man, with this Ash figure. I mean, listen, whether it's from NECA or whether it's from McFarlane or whether it's from the TV show, either way, Ash is still awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, as you can see, he's out the box, guys. I bought this figure loose, and he is missing a few pieces. So here is the box of Ash. I'm missing that headpiece right there. And I'm missing that headpiece right there. And I'm missing that headpiece right there, which kind of sucks. So I'm missing probably, what, four head sculpts altogether. And I'm missing an arm as well. So he's got the mechanical arm right there, which sucks. But, you know, with me being a collector and I got this guy for cheap, you know, if you can get an Ash figure for cheap, I suggest picking him up. But yeah, I am pretty disappointed because I don't have any of those head figures, those head sculpts to show you guys. But as a collector, this is pretty much how I was going to display him anyways, with the open mouth, the shotgun, and the chainsaw attached to his arm right here. And now, being that I just mentioned McFarlane, the only other figure that I have from the Evil Dead series is of this McFarlane Evil Ash over here, guys. If you didn't see a review of the Evil Ash, please check it out. He's actually from Army of Darkness. If you have never seen that movie, what have you been living on planet Earth? Have you been living on planet Earth? That's my question. Of course, I already did a review of this Evil Ash, guys. One of my favorite figures in my collection. McFarlane did an amazing job with this figure. And this pitchfork is not his. Actually, I think this pitchfork is actually from Jason, Friday the 13th. But I had the sword, and the sword broke off, and that's why I gave him the pitchfork. It goes pretty well, if I say so myself. So if you guys want to see a review of the Evil Ash figure, he's somewhere in my archives if you guys want to see a review of that. But this is how McFarlane and NECA kind of evens up. I mean, if you look at McFarlane is pretty brilliant. And this is an older figure. This is probably like a maybe 20-year-old figure, action figure right here. And this is actually kind of new. I think this is a couple years old, being that the TV series came out, 2017, so I was right. So it came out 2017, but this is NECA, and NECA does, when they do action figures, they do try to keep it more clean when they do action figures. They don't have it, you know, rough and rugged, kind of like McFarlane did. You know, but overall, they did a pretty amazing job with this Ash right here. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to go in for a closer look of this Ash and measure him, rate him, let you know what I think about this Ash figure, whether you should pick him up or not. I think you know where I'm going to go with that. Here's the inside of the box right here. This is how he's displayed right here. He looks really, really good. You know, I do like him. Something about the screaming face. I actually like the screaming face out of all the head sculpts. So I'm glad that I got that head sculpt. He does come in here with this right here as the background, which is pretty awesome. The lights and the skull and everything, all that great stuff. There's the side of the box, and then this right here. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. It's kind of like a hologram, I guess that's what you would call it. So you move it, and the guy, well, not the guy, but Ash moves as well with the hologram. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but it has like a little hologram effect for the top right here. Okay, so let's go in for a closer look of Ash right here. Looking pretty amazing. I love the face sculpt, man. I mean, he does, you know, compared to the other Ash figures, he has gray hair, which actually I don't mind. And we all get old, so, you know, he's still in pretty much the same shape over the years. There's the gun, the detail to the gun, the shirt, the back. There's the chainsaw. They did an amazing job with the chainsaw. I should have brought out my McFarlane Chainsaw Massacre just because, and compared the chainsaws. You know what? Okay, so yeah, I brought out my Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure, Leatherface right here, to kind of compare the chainsaws. Being that I looked at his chainsaw and said, you know what? Let me bring out my Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure. And this is from McFarlane. I actually prefer the McFarlane figure over the NECA Chainsaw Massacre figure because this is just much more detail. And it looks much more awesome, even though it is a statue. But nonetheless, it's still an awesome, awesome figure. And so here's the chainsaws. Chainsaw comparison, of course. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a huge freaking chainsaw, and there's the blood splattered on it. But I just wanted to show you the comparison. Why not? You know, being that I have Ash right here, and I'm missing some of the accessories, so I figured I'd do some comparisons and bring out Evil Ash and McFarlane Leatherface. So there's Leatherface right there, and let me show you guys, finish up showing you guys the detail of Ash. Very, very awesome figure, man. I definitely recommend this figure. I think with NECA, it's very, very hard to find Ash figures, especially at a decent price. So when I saw this guy, I definitely had to pick him up because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I love Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is one of my favorite movies. I can watch that movie over and over a million times. And I just love that movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. You know, I love like corny, cheesy movies. Plus, you know, if it's fun and adventurous and it has horror in it as well, that's like one of my favorite genres. Big Trouble in Little China as well. If you guys never seen that movie, then what planet have you been living on? That's also one of my favorite movies. I can watch that movie over and over and over again because it's just so awesome. And it's just so wickedly cool. So as far as the articulation goes, he does have a break here with his arm. This can't be said. The reason why I think there's a break right here because of his chainsaw, so you can turn it different ways. His elbow is bendable. It's not really on a ball joint. That's probably one of the reasons why they give him a break here at the forearm. His arms do go bend up and down, but you gotta be careful. The articulation is kind of hindered by the creases in his shirt, so you can't really get his arm to go up and down. He does have a little bit of a wrist swivel, head movement. Of course, his head does pop off. You can put his head, different heads on there, I'm sure, you know, from NECA if you want to, if they can fit on there. He does have a waist swivel, which is pretty awesome. His gun, you can take his gun out of his hand if you want to. I hate would hate to take the gun out of his hand because it'd be a pain in the butt to put his gun back in there. But he does have a holster for his gun, so where you can put it in the back if you don't want him holding the gun. But then again, why would you not want him holding the gun? He does have a bend here at the knees, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of concealed as well. It's kind of like on a ball joint, a little bit of a rotation at the knee as well. A little bit of ankle movements. Really, you can't really get his ankles to pivot because of his the length of his pants is kind of hindering the articulation. But like I said, Ash I don't think he's a very flexible figure anyways. As far as him lifting his legs up, you can't really get his legs to go up, even though they are on a ball joint. He's a pretty stiff figure, so I wouldn't recommend lifting his legs up too far because one of his legs might pop off, and plus it's kind of hindered by the way his pelvic area is shaped, the way of his pants. If you kind of look at his pants, this color pants right here is like rubber, and then his legs are hard plastic, and you can see the color overtones to it, that this piece right here is a different color brown. It's almost like he's wearing a diaper. You can tell they're two different shades of brown, but if you put it in the right light, you can see they're two different colors of browns. But if you put them, say, in a dark place, you couldn't tell the difference, you know what I mean? But they are two different shades of brown. So yeah, that's my only complaint with this figure, guys. Because they're two different colors, this is rubberized, this is plastic, his legs are plastic. That's the only thing that sucks with this Ash figure. Other than that, he's pretty spot on. He's pretty perfect. He's pretty awesome. So let's stand him up. Let's do a measurement of this Ash, and I'll rate him for you guys. So Ash stands just a little bit under 7 inches tall, guys. So a little bit over 6.5 and a little bit under 7 inches. Pretty nice figure. I love the simplisticness of this figure, like NECA. If you love collecting Jason figures, it's funny, Jason and Ash kind of have like a similar wardrobe going on because they're dressed like regular guys, with the shirt and regular pants. So if you love that, and same thing with Freddy as well. He's dressed like a regular guy. He has pants and a sweater, and then the rest of him is, of course, his burnt face and hat, and then claws. That's where the wardrobe, kind of takes over, and then he becomes a personality unto himself. Same thing with the chainsaw and the gun, and Ash's attitude as well, I think, creates the character of Ash Williams. Okay, guys, so on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I'm going to give this guy, I'm going to take in consideration that I don't have the other head sculpts as well, and the other interchangeable arm, and also I'm paying attention to the color overtones, but that's no big deal. He's a really, really awesome character to have in your collection. Like I said, if you can get Ash Williams for cheap, pick him up. Because he is an awesome figure to have in your horror collection. NECA collection, McFarlane collection, whatever you want. He's going to go side by side with these guys anyways, with Evil Ash and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Even though they're from different eras and they're from different toy companies, he still fits in pretty perfectly. So, yeah, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, guys, I'm going to give him a solid 8. I really, really love this Ash figure. I love the detail. I love the screaming head. Everything about him is pretty on point, guys. I highly, highly recommend this figure. If you're an Evil Dead fan or an Army of Darkness fan, I suggest picking up this figure. He's really, really awesome. Okay, so we'll leave it at that, guys. Tell me what you guys think of this figure. Do you like Evil Dead? Have you not seen any of those movies? If you haven't, let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments about this review. Leave your thoughts in the comments about any of those movies and the TV series, which is, I don't think is no longer around. I think it was canceled. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and guess what? I'll catch you guys later. Bye!